one of my favourite things is watching motorbikes. I love motocross. I used to ride a Peewee 50 when I was young. Every now and again I get the opportunity, and never owned one, but got the opportunity once in a blue moon. One of the kids at church had a Peewee 50 and go over there occasionally and be allowed to have a little ride, and I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Motorbikes and horses. When I got older, I ridiculously bought myself a postie bike to use on the farm, and forgetting full well that it'd been years since I'd done it. A Peewee 50 is a bit different to a bigger bike. It's a lot less powerful. And end up going over a brick pallet, slamming down onto the sewage concrete top, and basically breaking and tearing my meniscus in my knee and smashing my face and wrecking the bike. Well, and that was all at about 40 kilometres an hour, and it all happened in about 10 seconds. It was crazy. So I haven't been on a bike since that. I had successfully ridden that bike a few times in a smaller space, a bigger space, sorry. But when I got in that small space, I literally went over the top of a brick pallet. Unbelievable. I couldn't, and then I, for some reason, just kept my hand on the throttle until the bike actually crashed. And that's when I realised I could let go. Yeah, bit of a funny story, but I really love it. I've got neighbours that have dirt bike days up on their property, and big old hill over here, and on the other side they've got a nice track. They all go down, and it's really fun to watch. Sometimes when I'm riding Zara out, well, when I used to be riding Zara out, I'd stop and stand there for 10-15 minutes watching all the bikes going over the jump and up and down the hill, and really fun. And a little bit different from horses, but still as dangerous as riding a horse, but just a different way. You can't really have a bonding relationship. Well, you probably could if you were enthusiastically invested in a piece of machinery. You can actually become bonded with a piece of machinery in a way. It's not the same as a living thing, but you get to know how it works and how it ticks and everything else. I've had that kind of a relationship with things I've worked on. I've had pocket watches I've worked on over the years, the old mechanical ones, and that are, you know, all cogs and sprockets and springs and little screws and plates and things. But it's never the same as a living animal like a horse or a dog or a cat, or really any creature that you can tame. Now she's getting really forward. This is really nice. We're not really doing much, but it's a nice little session here. She's listening to my neck craning, and I don't know if you can see, but I'm turning her by just simply draping over that side of the neck. Not even having to use my feet, and wool. Sitting in my saddle and wool. And she's actually really doing a great job of listening. I've got to really start getting this girl into a bit more work. And wool. Wool. And wool. Good. Here comes some more bikes. We're going to stand still for a minute. Whoop. No. Whoop. Who's going to stand? Good girl. I want her to drop her head. Good girl. There's a nice way. Good girl. And as I said, she's not as well adapting to things as what Ellie is, as far as having that dropping. These guys are making a little bit more sound and going a little bit faster, but that's not a bad thing for us to actually deal with. Oh, and I've got some kind of a fly on her bum, so she's doing some hiccuping on the back side. That's okay. Hey, there goes Happy. Happy's been coming to see me for about 8 years. Nearly 9 years now. A really lovely bird. And, whoa, we're going to try standing still again. We can see Ellie over in the background there. She's a little bit perplexed as to why it's not her going for a ride. But it's okay. Some days it's going to be her, and some days it's going to be Zara, and some days it'll be the both of them. Good girl, Zara Lee. Good girl. Good job. And she's a completely different horse. If I do this kind of thing on her, you can see with her ears, she's more scared of things. It takes her a long time to get used to things, and anything above her head and stuff like that, she's a little wary of. But that's all right. And I got her sight unseen like we did with Ellie. Paid a pretty pence for her back in the day. She was used by a trail riding place initially when she was very young. It didn't work out because of the abilities of bolting that she had. So that didn't work. So she was then sold off to a lady who was a therapy horse, and then sold to me. And she's been here ever since. The lady who had her as a therapy horse said she wasn't really suitable. She didn't really like people, and she was therefore not that suitable to that kind of thing. She was pretty much a one-person horse. You have to gain her trust, and then once you do, you can figure her all out, and she's more than happy to be a partner with you. We're still just doing basic stuff. It's not much. I'm sure she'd much rather be out and about. I'm going to ask for a trot now. Nice slow trot. And she's really good at slow trot. Really good. We did a bit of work on that. Didn't take her long to pick that one up. Trot. Good girl. And walk. Good girl. As you can see, like bitless bridle, she's behaving well. Really not having to do anything much at all with her. Just touching slightly on the neck, and we've got a quite nice response. And I just wished her head would drop slightly down when we're doing this trot. So I'm trying to sit this trot. Good girl. Trot. And sit. Sit it. Good. The hair on my leg there. Get that off so I'm not distracted. And that's more about, it's not really about going fast or anything like that. It's about just understanding how she's feeling when I'm doing this. If her head can relax a bit. And relax. Ooh. And relax. She's got a very short neck. There's not much space between us and the tip of her head. And if she rears back and I'm leaning forward at all, I will end up having a very sore face. So this is pretty much all I do. When I haven't done anything for a bit, sometimes this is what I do. Sometimes I don't, I just take her straight out and it doesn't matter. But it's nice to do some inside bonding, and I'm actually pretty impressed with her right now, because usually she's got the poops at being stuck in here and isn't happy at all. So the fact that today she's happy for me to be good girl. And So I just indicated with my bottom that I wanted her to increase her trot, and she did, and then I indicated I wanted her to slow it. And that's pretty much all I'm going to do for now. Yeah, well, wanted to stop. Well, good girl. Good job. Good girl. And that's probably enough for her because she's not really had much riding. And she's probably a bit worn out from just that little bit. We didn't go for that long, but it was productive and helpful work. So we'll release her from this and let her be on her way. Maybe later this afternoon we might even go out and down the road like we did a couple of weeks ago and do some down the road work. And I'll just take this off very gently. It slides off nicely. There we go. Take this one off very gently. Good girl. Thank you, Zoe. Thank you very much. So she's done well. And we'll call it a morning. Good girl. Thank you.